Hey everybody, my name is Ben, and today I'm going to give you a brief walkthrough of the Human Capital Network Miner tool. So Network Miner is a tool that we built that makes it really easy to send someone a list of all of their connections and ask them to provide a few minutes of feedback and flag the people who are particularly outstanding, people they've worked with before who were at the top of their field. Um, I'll give you a quick view here of what one of these looks like, and then we'll take a look at the Chrome extension and the process to get set up and make one of these network miner pages. So if we look at one of the entries here in the admin dashboard for network miner, um, I'll show you first what the recipient of this page would see. So this is the flow that the network miner enables. I'm able to create a page that I can send to this person, in this case Ryan, that basically shows him a list of all of his connections off of LinkedIn. And these can be filtered down ahead of time to filter to just specific roles or just people in the Bay Area. But we're basically asking Ryan, just take a moment and fill out this ABC column and this superpower column, and let us know about the people that you've worked with in the past that are just total rock stars, folks that Sequoia would be remiss not to be paying attention to. And so you can see here he's already gone in here and filled this out and done a nice job of it actually. And so out of the several hundred people that we sent him, it looks like he tagged about 3 of them as truly exceptional engineers and product people and designers. And then he picked, another dozen or so that are really solid. And this is exactly the kind of feedback that we're looking for. These are people that we want to tag in LinkedIn so that they always show up in search results, and we want to feed this data about these incredible folks into the data pipeline that powers some of the other things that we're building. And so what I'm going to do right now is walk you through how to create one of these pages, and we can take a look at the workflow. So the first thing you're going to want to do is visit network.sequoiacap.com. There's an admin dashboard here, and you can go to the extension tab. And from here, you can download the Human Capital Chrome extension, and there are some steps to follow to get that installed. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. It downloads a zip file, and I'm going to click that to uncompress it, and it creates this folder on my computer with a bunch of random stuff in it. The next step here is I'm going to go to chrome://extensions, which is actually a URL that you can open in your browser. When I do that, it shows me all of the extensions that I have installed in Chrome. I'm going to click this toggle over here on the far right to enter developer mode. And that basically will allow me to install this extension that we've built without it having to be publicly available in their extension marketplace. So once I've enabled developer mode, I'm going to click Load Unpacked, this button right here, and I'm going to give it the dist folder that I just downloaded. And you don't have to know anything more about these files. We're just going to select the whole folder, and we'll give it the whole folder. And so now you can see I've installed the Sequoia Human Capital extension, and it appears up here in my browser, but it's currently grayed out. So the next thing we're going to do is actually use the Chrome extension. And to do that, we visit LinkedIn, and we navigate to the profile of someone that we want to send one of these pages to. So in this case, let's pull up somebody that I haven't done yet. And when we're visiting their profile, you can see up here that the Network Miner Chrome extension turned green. And that lets us know that there are features in here that we can use. And so it says, Network Miner, visit a LinkedIn profile to scrape the user's connections and create a link that you can send them to collect their feedback. So I'm just going to click the big green Start button. So when I do that, it takes me to their connections page. And there are some useful controls up here that allow me to filter down everyone that Sam knows to just people in areas that I'm interested in. And we can also filter by people that work at companies she's worked at and stuff like that. But I'm just going to go ahead and click Collect. When I do this, the whole screen kind of grays out, and this lets me know that that the human capital extension has automated this process. Now I can go get a coffee or give this a couple minutes. It typically takes 3 or 4 minutes, or about a minute per 100 people. And so we're going through her 480 connections here, and so this will take a couple seconds. So when Network Miner finishes scanning connections, it'll stop for a moment and upload all of those to our servers. And when it does that, it'll redirect to a new page that allows me to review all of the connections that have been collected. So you can see here down at the bottom next to the Save button that we've collected 479 profiles. I believe on her account it said 480, but one of those was me, so I've been automatically excluded. And up here in the top left, there are some controls you can use to filter down the list even further. So for example, if we remove all of these options, we're going to send Sam 479 of 479 profiles. But some of these people include folks in business roles and in roles we don't quite understand. So I can say I'm only interested in sending her her friends that are technical, in business or product or design. And so now we've narrowed this list down to 245 people. I can also, I used the filters that were available on LinkedIn to filter to just San Francisco and New York. But maybe now I'm having second thoughts and we can filter it down to just the San Francisco folks. And then once I've kind of got the general set of people that I want to send her, I can filter it down even further using these checkboxes here on the left. So we can say, actually, all these people who are legal directors we're not interested in. So one other important feature of this is oftentimes when someone works at a company, they might be connected to and have worked with folks that they're not friends with on LinkedIn. If that's the case, you can click this Add Candidates button down here in the bottom left, and you can paste in information from an Excel spreadsheet or information from the other linked out export tool. Or I could even just take someone else's spreadsheet. I could copy a bunch of these people from somewhere and paste them in here. And this allows me to add additional people to this list that weren't in the set of LinkedIn results. So once I've done this and I've filtered it down to just the set of people that I want to send Sam, I can click Save and Show Link. So this dialog opens and it gives me just a few things here. The first is a link that I can send a candidate to review their connections. The second is an email template that includes some nice pre-written text, courtesy of Brett. And the third is an option here to automatically send me an email once they've completed filling out this form. And this preview option over here allows me to see what Sam is going to see without triggering it to mark as having been opened. There's actually an additional preview equals true option on here, which means that I can view this page without it thinking that Sam has viewed it. So again, this is the page that Samantha will receive with some instructions and the additional ABC and superpower columns down here. So she can scroll through and identify uh, the, the exceptional people that she's worked with, and just use standard spreadsheet navigation with the keyboard or with the arrow keys um, to fill in this data. And when Sam is done, when she's filled in some information here, she can click Finish. And it basically just says, thank you so much. We really appreciate your help. And if you want, you can download a CSV to keep a copy of this for yourself. So I'm actually going to erase these to avoid us filling incorrect data. And so that's pretty much the Network Miner tool as far as the recipient can see. When we go back to the admin dashboard, you can see here there's a list of all of the pages that we've created and sent to various people. This name here on the left is the person who created the submission, and then the recipient is shown here on the right of the arrow. We can see the total number of profiles that we collected from LinkedIn and the number that we actually decided to send to that candidate for their manual review. Oh, sorry, no, this is actually the number of people that they vouched for. So in this case, this person selected 17 of the people in their network. And that's pretty much the tool. The reason that we're collecting all this is all going into a standard relational database where we're keeping all of this data so that we can derive more value from it in the future. And we're also syncing the A and the B folks to LinkedIn so that when you use LinkedIn's search tool that's part of LinkedIn Recruiter, you can select folks who have been vouched for by one of their connections and use that to find people more effectively. The last thing I'll note is that the LinkedIn Miner tool automatically assigned roles to people. You'll notice this column right here. And we do this based on the text that appears in their job title on LinkedIn. And this makes it really easy to just scan through here and find people quickly and filter out folks that, if Sam works in Uber's legal department, we don't necessarily need to know who she thinks is talented from a design perspective. We can just click those folks off. The configuration for how this works is editable from this config tab of the admin dashboard. It's unlikely that you'll need to work with this often, but we can come in here and see the exact keywords that can appear in someone's LinkedIn bio that then dump them into these categories. So you might find it useful to update those as we use this tool more. And you can also update the email template and other information. So thanks so much, guys. If you have any questions, feel free to message me on Slack, and look forward to more fun stuff in the future.